In the last episode, we asked you a simple question. What keeps you going while you're inside? We received so many great responses from you. Some of you talked about your family, while others mentioned finding your sense of self or a higher purpose. And others shared how learning, growth, and staying focused are helping you move forward, one day at a time. We also heard from many of you about wanting to be better than who you were before, about not giving up on yourselves, and about trying to make your time mean something. Here are a few responses that really stuck with us, with a few more shared after this video.
Julio in Arizona writes, "While the most logical response is family, that's not my case. I've been in prison for 30 years now, and what keeps me going is my community in here. For hope to be found, we must model it to all those around us." Demetrius in New York writes, "What keeps me going is my 6 daughters, 4 grandkids, and my mother, who I want to see alive outside of being incarcerated. She's getting along in her years, and it hurts and scares me to think of not being there for her." David in Florida writes, "What motivates me to continue learning, despite the fact that I have a life sentence and may not ever get released, is that it gives me the opportunity to demonstrate to those that do have a release date that you never give up on yourself just because of your circumstances. One's present situation isn't their final destination. Therefore, we must not allow our being incarcerated define or limit our ability to grow and become better and more refined than when we entered."
What stood out to us in your responses is that even though everyone's situation is different, there are common threads, things people hold on to keep going, even when things feel stuck or uncertain. Sometimes it's a person or a goal, or perhaps it's just the decision to keep trying. The story you're about to watch is one example of that.
This is it? Please tell me this is not it. Forever? Till they put me in a box? Tell me no. My name is Jo Helen Williams. I've been incarcerated for 41 years. Because of my sentence structure, I was denied any programming because I was trash. Where's the tissue? Grow it, girl. When I came, I was the lifer. So there was like nobody to say, hey, maybe you could do this a little better, or, don't act like that, or don't do that. There was nothing. So it was like I was winging it. In Nebraska at the time, there was no programming for anybody. Like if I didn't have a GED when I came in, I would not have been able to acquire it because of my sentence structure. There's access now. The departments have realized the value that seniority brings to incarceration. I don't know how else to term it, but they recognize the value. For me, I think it was because somebody saw value in me when the courts did not. It was like the mistake made me trash. And then somebody came along and was generous enough to help subsidize an education for me. And they saw value where, I had been chosen for the Second Chance program through York University. So I am a York University graduate. Thank you very much. That was, for me, the beginning. It opened my eyes to a larger world because it had been so small for so long. So for me, it was that. And then Edovo enhanced that because I had to take math. And so Edovo offered math. And so I'd be up late at night. That's when that opened up for me. For me, when I was sentenced and brought here and the environment was so stagnating, it was like, this is it? Please tell me this is not it. Forever? Till they put me in a box? Tell me no. And it just felt so hopeless and defeating, and just any negative connotation you want to put with it. It was all that, like in this small little ball. And then, you know, a tablet. I had never touched a tablet. Even that was a learning curve. But every accomplishment, it just gave me something. Even if it was small, it gave me something. It was just that, yeah, that pat on the back that, you know, I'm worth feeding. The most amazing thing to me initially were the books that read to me. Hands off, I could go to sleep. You know, I could lay there and somebody read me a story because that was new to me. You know, I'd been incarcerated way before any of that happened. So it was like, oh, this is on. So I went and told other lifers. I was like, girl, the books read to you. You don't even have to flip a page. You know, that was the initial thing, was just the books. And then I started looking through and it was like, oh, you can take classes and then you can earn stars. Oh my God, I need them stars. So I don't know, it just grew into that. And so late at night, that's what I would do, is I would do that. I would study math because that was my Achilles heel, yeah. I know that there are people out there fighting for me who I'll never meet, who I will never know. Even if it's not for me, it's for a lifer that comes after me. But people are out there fighting because it's just makes no sense to throw a being away for dumb mistakes. So for me, it was that. And so I don't know if you can grow hope, but something flickered. And so the more stars I got, the more hopeful I felt. Because you can't share with somebody what you don't have to give. And there were younger people coming in, and it was like, if it was my daughter, what would I want somebody to say to her? So I used the Edovo tools to help speak to other people.